Hey everyone. So I've been asked a number of times to try to speak a little bit about preparing for Yom Kippur. And as you could see, I'm out here in nature, in a forest, um, one of the favorite areas um, of mine. Um, and talking about Yom Kippur is really an act of going back to the elements, going back to our roots, ourselves, because Teshuva essentially is not something which is outside of us. It's something that's really within us on all levels, from the body level to the emotions to the spiritual levels. And whenever there's a disconnect, Hebrew, that's the word for chet, there's a misdirection, the mismark, it means that we need to go back and to reconnect and to go back to the roots. And when we're in nature, we see this incredibly connected tapestry that's constantly connected to its roots. And, tshuva is exactly that. It's going back to the roots of who we are on many, we're very complex in a certain way. We're as humans, as if we're Jews or not Jews, we have different types of souls, different types of makeup. But at the same time, we're all very simple in the sense that we have that primal connection um, to to our element that's often lost in the modern world that we live in. And Teshuva, on the day of Yom Kippur, is the time of reconnecting to our element on all levels. And that's why Yom Kippur is it's called the day of the five, because it's connected to the five levels of soul. Level of nefesh, which is the soul within the body, nefesh, level of ruach, of neshama, of chaya, and yechida. A couple of days ago, I spent a beautiful day with my wife, Miriam, and we went to Yerushalayim. I grew up in Jerusalem. Some of you may know this. Until the age of 13, we were back and forth a bunch of times in the U.S. and then back. Grew up as a yo-yo, essentially. 5 elementary schools until 8th grade. Kind of difficult, I guess you would say. And I wanted to go back to the place where I grew up. And I felt a very deep calling to that space of, the child. And a part of my tshuva, at least for this year, really feeling the incredible harmony and strength of going back to your root, going back to where you grew up. I spent some time in the home. I didn't go in, but the apartment building where I grew up. I remember myself as a little kid being dropped off at school, walking with my friends, a big backpack, and the whole area, I kind of went back to, walked, spent some time in the apartment building that I grew up in, walked up all those stairs, held onto the railing where I remember sitting there and waiting for my mother to come back, feeling the fear of maybe she wouldn't be back, being left alone, and first time really thinking about death as a little child. And remember those tears that I had, and those same tears came out again, this time as an adult. And it was incredibly healing incredibly powerful to do that. As it is for all of us to really, go back to those spaces. If we could go back to physically, or we could go back emotionally, we could spend that time of realignment, of reconnection with ourselves. So, Yom Kippur is that. It's a day of atonement, but it's a day of, also the word for Kippur means to wash away. It means to wash away all of the excess identifications that we hold on to very often with, well, this is happening, that's reality, and that's reality. And the truth is, the only true reality is the reality that's going on inside of you. And the amount and the depth of connection that you have to yourself, to your past, to your root of who you are, and the incredible potential and glorious neshama that you have. So those are my thoughts for Yom Kippur, pre-Yom Kippur. Meditation, solitude, realignment as we go in. So, wishing you a beautiful day, a very meaningful day, and subsequently a meaningful year that will happen. Look forward to sharing a lot more of these kind of videos, meditations that are going to be happening on Live Kabbalah, and really just taking things to the next level. Yeah. Wishing you a beautiful day and a beautiful Yom Kippur.